The history of USS Alabama, BB-60. The USS Alabama was launched in February 1942 at the Norfolk Naval Shipyard in Virginia, USA, just 3 months after the United States entered World War II. She was officially commissioned into service in August of the same year. In late 1942, she completed her shakedown cruise, initial testing, in the Chesapeake Bay on the U.S. East Coast and participated in training operations off Casco Bay, Maine, in early 1943. Service in the Atlantic. In April 1943, she set sail for Britain alongside her sister ship, the USS South Dakota, joining the British Royal Navy Home Fleet at Scapa Flow, Scotland, on May 19th. Following a period of training, she covered the landing of Allied troops on the Norwegian island of Spitsbergen in June 1943. The following month, she participated in Operation Governor, which aimed to divert German attention towards southern Norway while Allied forces prepared for their actual target, Sicily, Italy. On August 1st, she was detached from the Royal Navy and began her return voyage to the United States, arriving in Norfolk 8 days later. Campaigns in the Pacific. After a scheduled overhaul at Norfolk, USS Alabama sailed for the South Pacific, arriving in the New Hebrides by September 1943. She participated in the invasion of the Gilbert Islands, providing anti-aircraft fire for fleet carriers and heavy gunfire support for the landings at Tarawa and Macon atolls. After a brief dry dock period in Pearl Harbor, she returned to the South Pacific in late January 1944 to support the invasion of the Marshall Islands. On February 16th and 17th, she escorted U.S. carriers as their aircraft raided the Japanese naval base at Truk in the Caroline Islands. From there, the fleet sailed toward the Mariana Islands, striking Japanese positions on Tinian, Saipan, and Guam. In early March 1944, she served for 5 days as the flagship of Vice Admiral Mark Mitcher of the Fast Carrier Task Force. In June, she provided defense for carriers during strikes on Saipan and bombarded the island with her guns for 6 hours to soften coastal defenses. On June 19, 1944, her radar detected incoming enemy aircraft during the Battle of the Philippine Sea, the Great Marianas Turkey Shoot, where she played a vital defensive role. Between September and November 1944, she escorted carriers during strikes across the Philippine Islands. After repairs at Puget Sound Naval Shipyard in early 1945, she returned to the South Pacific in April to support the Okinawa invasion. On the night of July 17th to 18th, she bombarded industrial targets in the Hitachimito area northeast of Tokyo. Postwar and legacy. When the Pacific War ended, USS Alabama was stationed south of Japan. Her Marine detachment and sailors assisted in the occupation of the Yokosuka-Tokyo area. In September, she departed Japanese waters, carrying U.S. servicemen home to San Francisco. She was decommissioned in January 1947 and remained part of the Pacific Reserve Fleet until 1962. Eventually, she was turned over to the state of Alabama to be preserved as a museum ship. Since 1965, she has been located at Battleship Memorial Park in Mobile, Alabama, where she remains open to the public today. Contributions and significance of USS Alabama, BB-60. USS Alabama played a vital role as a powerful battleship during World War II. Her contributions are primarily divided into 2 major theaters, the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. Support in the European theater and British Navy. At the beginning of her service in 1943, USS Alabama was deployed to the Atlantic, North Atlantic Protection. Working with the British Royal Navy's Home Fleet, she protected Allied convoys along the Norwegian coast and in the Arctic Ocean. Containing the German Tirpitz, Alabama served as a formidable deterrent, preventing the powerful German battleship Tirpitz from attacking Allied merchant and supply ships. Dominance in the Pacific Campaign, 1943 to 1945, the true power of the Alabama was showcased during the war against Japanese forces in the Pacific. Island hopping campaigns. During operations in the Gilbert, Marshall, and Mariana Islands, she provided heavy shore bombardment to crush Japanese defenses. Her gunfire support was crucial for infantry advances during the battles of Saipan and Okinawa. Protector of aircraft carriers. One of Alabama's primary roles was defending U.S. aircraft carriers from kamikaze, suicide, attacks, and conventional air raids. Her powerful anti-aircraft guns helped down hundreds of Japanese aircraft. Great Marianas Turkey Shoot, Battle of the Philippine Sea. In June 1944, USS Alabama played a historic role in this battle. Utilizing her advanced radar system, she was the first to detect incoming enemy aircraft, providing the U.S. fleet with precious time to prepare. This battle resulted in the near-total destruction of Japanese naval aviation. Attacks on the Japanese mainland. In the final stages of the war in July 1945, Alabama conducted direct heavy bombardment of industrial targets on the Japanese mainland, such as the Hitachi-Mito area. This helped break Japanese morale and accelerated the end of the war. Importance and legacy. The significance of USS Alabama lies not only in her firepower, but also in her resilience. Damage-free record. Throughout the entire war, USS Alabama never suffered significant damage from direct enemy attack, and not a single crew member was lost to enemy action. For this reason, she is often called Lucky A. Battle Stars. She earned 9 battle stars for her heroic contributions and participation in major operations. Today, she is preserved as a National Historic Landmark at Battleship Memorial Park in Mobile, Alabama, serving as one of the finest examples of World War II naval power.